Hey everybody, Jordan here, also known on the internet as Kurai or Kurai3. It's a bit of a nonsense screen name that I've had for a long time, but, you know, I can't, once you got a screen name forever, it's kind of hard to get rid of it. But I'm going to go by Jordan for all these, and you may have seen some videos with me and Nick, where I will pretty much always go by Jordan there as well. Yeah, I've decided I got the equipment I needed to start making some videos on my own without Nick. Before we were using Nick's rather professional setup, and now I'm using a rather scrubby, cheap setup. But so, you know, quality's not going to be quite as good. But I feel like, you know, the spirit of the video is the same. I'm probably going to be playing some more serious things than when I'm playing with Nick, simply because they're the things I play the most. I'm not really all that big on, like, you know, goofy things like Goat Sim or Quap or any of those, because those are just like fun little distractions. But I really play mostly serious sort of games. I'm not like Mr. Hardcore Angry Man. No, that's not what I do. I have fun. I'm silly, but you know, the games are a bit more serious themselves. There's probably going to be a fair bit of violence. I'm probably going to swear a lot. So, just some warnings to anybody who might want to watch these with kids in the room. There will be some blood and gore in a lot of these videos, and there will probably be a lot of me yelling profanity at the top of my lungs. Alright, so, the game I'm going to be playing today is called Warframe. It's a game by Digital Extremes, and there's a trailer running around on the internet around the time of the launch of the last console generation for a game called Dark Sector that eventually became like a weird sort of modern military kind of sci-fi shooter thing. And the reason they look really similar is because Warframe is basically the original concept for the game that they had, but they couldn't get it published because it was just a little bit too out there for a lot of publishers think. So but yeah, basically in this game we're going to be playing as any number of awesome space ninjas. It's a multiplayer game. So most likely I'm going to be playing online with some absolute random strangers who may or may not be complete jerks, or maybe they'll be cool, but most likely they probably will just kind of derp out, not say anything, and not be particularly helpful most of the time. It's a free-to-play game. It's available for PC and PS4. I can't in good conscience really recommend the PS4 version at the moment because this might not be a problem that everybody has. But whenever I try and play online with other people, I get absolutely massive frame rate lag. Like, horrible, horrible lag. And until they get that fixed, I don't really think that it's worth it. But it's a shame, because it is a good game. And when you're playing solo, the game runs buttery smooth. It's really fun. And, you know, I really enjoyed it. Plus, if you're a PS Plus user, you get quite a bit of in-game currency. So, you know, maybe try it out at some point. But yeah, I can give you a little bit of a run through about how things work as far as like your character goes, because there's a number of Warframes which are basically like cybernetic mech suits that you can play as that are kind of ninja-y themed. I have two right now. I have the very basic one, which would be, where is he? The Excalibur, he's pretty cool. He's like a swordsman. Of course, he's showing off the big punchy fist that I got, but like his big deal is he has like a sword dash and he can jump really high and he has like some special sword attacks. Every Warframe has its own individual stats. Mostly these stats are it's like health, shields. They have 4 special abilities that they can have, and what's the other things that they would have stats for? Stamina, for like how long you can run and how much you can punch things and stuff like that, and energy, which is what powers your powers. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of the energy system so far, but it's just the way that they built it. You can use powers tend to be very strong, but you can only use them sparsely because you have to get a specific pickup to use them again. It's not like a cooldown or like something that replenishes over time. I believe you can get mods, which are one of the main upgrade things you can do for Warframes, that will give you more energy, but I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm only about maybe a third of the way through the actual existing planets in the game. Basic story is that you're in far future after a cataclysmic war, and there's a couple of different factions that are trying to take over our corner of the neighborhood as far as the universe goes, the solar system. And you're a 4th faction that doesn't really like any of the other 3. 2 are sentient, normal, like Corpus, who are basically robotic corporate like crazy people, and then we have the Grineer, who are heavily implied to be genetically altered remnants of the human race that are super militaristic. Think angry, weird diesel punk space Nazis, and you have kind of a good idea of what the Grineer's whole aesthetic is about. I got some decent equipment here. Most of it is pretty early, easy to get stuff like the Strun, which is a shotgun you can just buy for credits. You don't have to craft it. Crafting is a big part of the way that the game works. The main way that you obtain new weapons and equipment that I've seen so far is you either get drops of blueprints or you buy them on the marketplace, and then you have to go and run the missions to get the resources to make new fancy equipment. There's a lot of different damage types and there's a lot of different statistical stuff, but seeing as this is more of a video for casual viewers, I'm not really going to go super into that because it could make this video a lot longer. What I am going to do, however, is I'm going to stop looking through my inventory and kind of derping out, and I'm going to take the time to show you guys some actual gameplay. So let's go out back to the world map, and I believe right now I am trying to make my way through Saturn. And I'm actually going to show you one of the boss missions where we're going to fire, they're called assassination missions, where you and your fellow Tenno go on a mission to take down a faction leader. These are usually pretty good missions to do. They're interesting, they're fun. The bosses are actually fairly well made and mechanically rather interesting, if not a little simple for the most part. I don't really know what Sargus Ruck's deal is. I'm not really that up to speed on this game's background lore kind of stuff because it's not really covered that much in-game. But he's an interesting fight, and he drops the blueprints for a fire elemental-based Warframe. And it looks like I've already got a team joined up with someone named Ergo Proxy, and yeah, he's got a pretty different loadout for me. He's using a support Warframe that can heal and all that, so maybe he'll actually be helpful and friendly, but who knows. So yeah, I'm just going to run through and I'm going to shoot some bad guys and check out all that. There's a lot of punching containers to steal things. I'm going to throw that out there right now. But oh, here's some lore for us.
Several alerting sites in this sector have been
Whoa!
attacked.
Oh, hey, that's the Warframe that you get the blueprints from this mission. So, one of the things that it should be noted about this is the game tends to be pretty big areas. It's tile based. The map is fairly random whenever they build it, and that is a fucking arc trap. Which, if you see them in game, make it a point to shoot them, because they tend to drop good equipment. Or, well, resources. There are three main weapon types that you have in the game. There's your melee weapons, which for me would be these awesome Obex punchy fists. There's your primary weapon, which is just like your big, long-arm, two-handed gun kind of thing. And then you can have a sidearm, which is a one-handed pistol that you can either have in one hand or you can dual wield. There's all kinds of interesting weapons. The melee weapons are pretty cool. You can get, like I said, you can get punchy fists, you can get like bow stabs, you can get like giant swords and axes, and there's a friggin' arc trap trying to murder me here. Oh, it probably dropped good goodies, but I can't go get them. And I appear to have gone completely blind for a second there. So that's interesting. Oh, it looks like we've already made it to the boss room. Sargus is a pretty... Oh, hey. Why don't we have a punch-up, friendo? But, he's a real big, heavy armored guy with a flamethrower. And, he'll do a lot of very, very pretty fire attacks here. Oh, looks like somebody's down bleeding out. Let me go ahead and help them up. The sound of reviving to me just sounds like somebody's brushing teeth, but, wow, he's already about half dead, and that is a lot of fire. Alright, so when he uses his big fire attacks, he'll open up big, like, vents on his suit to vent the excess heat that he's created. And those are the only places you can hit him, and oh my god, someone is murdering him really fast. Yeah, you done? Well, he is already dead. That was incredibly quick. Normally this is a 4 or 5 minute fight, where you spend a lot of time fighting off his minions, and usually no one helps me fight him, because I don't know. That was also a big explosion. But yeah, that went surprisingly well. Not exactly probably great for the purpose of showing off how this mission works. But, well, aim. Aim was one of those things that I need to get. There's a lot of interesting movement mechanics. You can jump, you can slide, you can do rolls. Somebody just wants to get this friggin' Ember Warframe so hard. Alright, yeah, so yeah, I slid under there. You can do wall runs. I'm getting electrocuted to death. Yeah. A lot of people tend to play this in a very, very rush kind of mindset. They want to be in and out as quick as they possibly can. But, you know, that's not necessarily bad, because when you rush, you get a lot of stuff, like, pretty quickly. Speaking of the Ember Warframe, I managed to get the Ember Warframe helmet blueprint. To craft a Warframe, you need 3 separate parts. You need the helmet, the chassis, and I believe the systems, and then you buy the overall blueprint on the marketplace. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave this group, because usually people don't run things 2 times anyway. But yeah, that's kind of like the basic idea. You enter a mission, you run through a randomly generated tile set to accomplish a specific objective. Usually they're adding more tile sets and more objectives all the time. Like the most basic ones are just kill X amount of enemies in the area, defeat this boss. Sometimes it's blow up a ship's engine, or steal data, or defend a point. So they keep them kind of mixed up. Yeah, I might do another video on this later, but that's really all I got for now. That's kind of a good basic introduction. A little bit fast for a basic introduction, but if you guys like it, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you when I make some more videos.